Right, we're gonna try something different. So here I am recording this on my Tascam. The world's gone crazy, and I thought it'd be quite nice to introduce a little bit of levity to this whole craziness that's going on in the world. And one of the things I thought would be quite nice to talk about is Studio Ghibli and the whole Studio Ghibli collection, started by one of the best directors to ever do it, Hayao Miyazaki. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go talk through this entire series one by one. We'll start right from the beginning up to the last Studio Ghibli film. Will I include the Studio Ghibli shorts? Not at the moment. They might be for a separate series. However, we are going to talk about all the films under the Studio Ghibli banner, as well as two films that are not under the Studio Ghibli banner, but I'm including simply because it's my list and I get to choose what's on this list. So, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about my relationship with Studio Ghibli and why I think everyone watching these videos from now on will quite enjoy the films that I recommend at this point. So when it comes to Studio Ghibli, like with the whole foreign film series, it was one of those things that I kind of picked up around about 2001. This is when Spirited Away was nominated for Best Animated Feature. And me being like in the prime of my anime loving life at 11 years old, I'm just there like, actually I was 12 years old. Yeah, correction, I was 12. So I'm there like, okay, like a fantasy film that's pretty much like Alice in Wonderland, but anime, let's check it out. And I did. And I was absolutely blown away by the animation style. I was blown away by the story. I was blown away by the characters, the visuals. Everything about Studio Ghibli adds a different kind of whimsy in terms of like storytelling, and all the directors, especially Hayao Miyazaki, had a huge influence and still has a huge influence on how I view storytelling and how I view kind of like the narrative aspect of filmmaking. And it's quite interesting to me because like Hayao Miyazaki is pretty much kind of like I would put him on par with like Walt Disney in terms of storytelling. And we're talking about old school Disney from the Golden Age and like from Snow White up until maybe the Renaissance. Well, yeah, the Disney Renaissance in the 1990s. So Disney had a good 60 years worth of great stories in there. And in about 20, 30 years, Studio Ghibli has pretty much kind of put themselves up there as one of the premier storytellers in in the world. And the great thing about Studio Ghibli is the fact that it's very universal. Like, all the stories, they are, you'd say they're kids films, like you'd say with most like Disney films that they're kids films. However, they don't really like act like kids films. They do deal with a lot of adult themes, and the best part about it is that it reminds me of like old school Disney, is that the adult themes are not spoon fed. Everything's pretty much like above board. Like there's not the kind of like ham-fisted look, like this are the themes that we're going for. Like all the themes are there to be seen, but they're not dumbed down for the children. It's just like you know what you're getting with all these films. So between all the whimsical nature of the films, you're gonna get some dark themes in there as well. And there's a couple films in this series that I will talk about. One in particular, which I'll probably go in a lot deeper depth about how dark that film is, and how it is one of my favorite Studio Ghibli films. And it's not because of the fact that it's dark; it's just more for the fact of that storytelling actually just kind of resonated with me, probably more than a lot of the other Studio Ghibli films I've watched. Also, in this series, there's a few films that I've actually neglected to watch from Studio Ghibli, and it's more on their newer side. So pretty much past like Ponyo, I hadn't really caught up with Studio Ghibli, so this will be quite a nice chance to go over some old favorites as well as like go through some new films that I hadn't seen before. Also, we are going to still carry on with the foreign film series. That's going to still come out on the Friday, so like look out for that. You'll see my face on that one. But I think for these ones, I'm going to kind of just have a more laid back approach to it. So I'll just sit here with my Tascam. I'm going to put some like visuals up of each film, and if you like this kind of style, I might continue to do it for the other series as well as I think everything else. But yeah, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Don't worry. We are going to go through every Studio Ghibli film. It's not just going to be, oh, which one would you want to hear next? I will go through it chronologically, so in terms of release order, not as opposed to which ones I think are my favorite. And they're not going to be like scene by scene, crazy in depth, like recommendations or reviews or synopses. It's pretty much just going to be me talking again with it off the cuff, more or less, with talking about like my experiences of the film, why I enjoy the film, why I think you'd enjoy the film. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoy this series. I hope you enjoy where I'm going to go with this, and I hope you check out these films, because if you are from the UK, the Studio Ghibli films are actually on Netflix at the minute, so I'd highly suggest you go watch them, especially with the world as it is right now. As of recording this, in the 17th of March, the world has gone crazy. So yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of levity, a little bit of whimsy, and kind of make the best of what's going on at the moment. So like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you in a bit.